Welcome back to the channel. One thing I noticed about Jacksonville is that the lines between rap, gang violence, and real-life crime get crossed in a lot of dangerous ways, and unfortunately it always ends up in someone losing their life. In the middle of all the chaos in the war in Jacksonville stands one of the most shocking mysteries in Jacksonville history, and it's about none other than a well-known stepper by the name of Leroy Whitaker, who you guys know as Scotty. A lot of people might call him as just another rapper, but his name has very close ties to the deadly gang war in Jacksonville that's captured national attention as of today. So for this video, I wanted to take a deep dive with you guys into the things I've seen and rumors I've heard when it comes to Scotty. I promise you guys that there's a reason why he earned his reputation as one of ATK's top shooters, and the reason why members of ATK respect him so much. With that being said, let me not waste too much time and just get right into the video. One thing I want you guys to notice is that there's 3 well-known instances where ATK Scotty earned his reputation publicly as a stepper. I'll go into each one of them based on everything I've seen over the years, so make sure you pay attention to all the information I'm about to tell you. Another important thing I want you guys to notice is that whenever Scotty was implicated in anything criminally related, Queso was somehow also a part of it as well. I wouldn't be surprised if someone told me that Queso is the reason why Scotty keeps getting into trouble. But let me start by talking about what happened to Lil Buck. Lil Buck's tragic demise is one of the main reasons why Scotty's name became more well known, but unfortunately it's also the reason why he's awaiting a murder trial right now. In January 2020, Jacksonville rapper Charles McCormick, who some of you guys know as Lil Buck, was gunned down in what prosecutors described as a violent retaliation in a bitter feud between rival gangs in Jacksonville. I'm sure you guys can already figure out which gangs are involved, but the main gangs in Jacksonville are from the ATK and the KTA side. Both sides have a lot of subsets, but I won't be going into detail about them in this video. If that's something you want to hear me talk about, you can let me know in the comments section. Keep in mind that even though I may not respond to all the comments, I definitely take into account the things you guys say to each other, and the things that you say to me as well. Feel free to say anything that comes to your mind about something I said in the video, whether you think it's true or not true. But let me continue on with the story. After Lil Buck was gunned down, the police officers in Jacksonville identified 2 members of gangs, both from ATK, as the shooters. One of them is Hakeem Robinson, who you guys know as the rapper Queso. The second one is Leroy Whitaker, who you guys know as Scotty. Now let me take a pause here for a minute. I'm sure you guys ended up asking yourselves an obvious question, and that question is if the police in Jacksonville identified Queso and Scotty as the people who gunned down Lil Buck, then I'm sure they must have a motive for why they say Queso and Scotty killed Lil Buck, right? If that's what you were thinking, then the answer is yes. The police really had a reason for it. They say the motive behind Queso and Scotty gunning down Lil Buck was simply because of a song that he dropped at that time. A lot of people, and even the police themselves, believe that Lil Buck specifically disrespected Queso in his lyrics on the song. Apparently, Lil Buck disrespected Queso's brother.
Now, today you're obviously familiar with the person.
Yes, sir.
Okay. As it relates to your case.
Yes, sir.
And his nickname.
Yes.
Okay. Now, he was shot and killed on January 15th of 2020 at a shopping center on Merrill Road. Are you aware of a song put out prior to him being shot and killed in January 2020?
Yes, sir.
And what was your understanding of what that song was about?
It was a diss song about.
So you said a diss song?
Yes. Yeah.
So it was
Talking bad about it.
Talking bad. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. Talking bad. Who brought that song to your attention?
Oh, really social media.
Okay. Did Hakeem Robinson know about the song?
Yes, sir.
Did he ever talk to you about the song?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did he feel about the song?
He didn't like it.
Okay. What about Abdul Robinson Jr.? Did he ever mention the song to you?
Yes, sir.
How did he feel about it?
He didn't like it either.
As it is today, Queso and Scotty both face first-degree murder charges for their roles in the killing of Lil Buck. This story gained so much public attention that everyone could tell that both Queso and Scotty really are about that life. The prosecutors in the case have gathered what they say is damning evidence against them. From what I can tell, there's three main pieces of evidence that they plan to use against them at trial. They want to use their social media posts, Instagram stories, and rap lyrics amongst other things. They say that all that evidence directly references to the crime. In order for you guys to fully understand the info I know about Scotty, I need to tell you guys small info about Queso as well. I'll dive into more detail about Queso in a different video. Queso and Scotty are heavily tied in together, and if you listen to songs Queso has dropped in the past, then you'll notice that whenever Queso rapped about going on a drill, Scotty was always his right-hand man. If you guys think Queso is a problem on his own, then by Queso praising Scotty in his songs should definitely let you know how much of a problem he is in his own right. But let me continue talking about Queso. Anybody paying attention to the war in Jacksonville knows that Queso definitely didn't mind posting incriminating evidence on social media. For this part of the video, I'll only show you guys evidence that relates to Lil Buck's murder. Let me talk about the first piece of evidence. Queso posted a taunting Instagram story showing him at a nail salon with a caption that prosecutors say hints at his involvement in the murder. Take a look at what the investigators had to say about it.
Fast forward a year to this past January, 23-year-old Charles McCormick is shot and killed in Arlington. In the past 2 weeks, 6 people have been arrested linked to at least one of the killings. Hakeem Robinson is charged in the McCormick killing. Both men had social media accounts that police looked at in their investigation. On Robinson's Instagram, there was a story posted of a child singing a song entitled KSO Homicide by rapper Yungeen Ace, a local rapper who has made headlines before. The video was posted after the murder of Charles McCormick. Also another story, which depicted Hakeem Robinson at a nail salon receiving a pedicure with the caption, "Kill a N-word, then go get my toes done."
Queso was really bold to put that on his page. Another piece of evidence that they plan to use against Queso and Scotty is an Instagram live session that Queso and Yungeen Ace had. They want to specifically use the part where Yungeen Ace says, "Queso, make your face go." Take a look at the clip.
And I'm outside. I'm outside. Hey, I'm in North Carolina. Go. So what? Queso make your face go. Hey, that nigga say, niggas say they outside. Eat that bit outside. Eat that bit one time. Huh? Do that what's it? Eat that.
Now let me get into the pieces of evidence that they plan to use which specifically relates to Scotty. The first piece of evidence is a 2019 video of a Yungeen Ace concert in Richmond, Virginia. In that video, they say Queso can be seen talking to Ace during the show. Also visible is someone with a Mike Bibby jersey, and they say that person is Scotty. It's quite a long video, so you can just skip ahead to this timestamp if you've already seen it. If you haven't, take your time to analyze it and let me know if you're able to see the Mike Bibby jersey in the video. If you do see it, then just know that the prosecutors say it's definitely Scotty. I've personally seen it a couple of times throughout. Take a look at the video.
I cannot hear a lot of pain when I'm constantly hurt. They want all this pain. Want you know my pain? Talking through all this pain. Hey, but you know my pain. Yesterday, I was on the walk, can't let a nigga get ahead of me. Catching me trapping, let him have it. I'm a demon, fucking savage. Got 23 on me, want me in front of my brother. I ain't scared, I ain't running, gotta put me rising. We gon' drop some more. They say nobody please spit up with more. We screaming out between the wall. Murder Ray Rise, I ain't no eat. Don't make me timid, we can't cry no more. In this session, I shoot the kill. I can't let you live. No, I can't let you live. I can't let you live.
But that's not even the most shocking information that they want to use against them. One thing you guys need to understand about street activity is that there's always a lot of ties whenever a crime happens. So if someone gets caught, there's always a very high chance that there's a whole different network of people that are involved in the crime who are in the shadows as well. Queso and Scotty might be the people who take the fall, but there's bigger people at the top that keep the machine running in their absence. Higher-ranking members make sure that it stays that way, and more often than not, the higher-ranking members are the gang members' parents. This is where Queso's dad Abdul Robinson Sr. comes in, who some of you guys know as Blue. One thing that came as a surprise to me is how someone at his age would choose to snitch on his own son. He agreed to testify not only against his son Queso, but against Scotty as well. I'm sure you guys have already seen the interrogation, but I'll show a small clip of it for those of you that haven't. As you guys will see, Blue identifies Queso as the shooter and implicates Scotty in the crime. I couldn't believe what I heard when I first saw the interrogation clip. Take a look.
Did he want to find out who was responsible?
Yes, sir.
And was that in fact something that, as a family, Hakeem Robinson, Abdul Robinson Jr., that y'all discussed, trying to figure out who was responsible?
Yes, sir.
Was Leroy Whitaker close to?
Not really.
What about Dominique Barner?
I don't think he was close to him. He knew him, though.
Okay. But Hakeem Robinson and your other son, Abdul Robinson Jr., were closer to Whitaker.
Yeah.
Now, going again back to January 15th of 2020, that day, were you called by Abdul Robinson Jr., your son?
Yes, sir.
And was that from a number that you recognized as belonging to him?
Yes, sir.
What did he want?
He wanted me to go pick up Scotty.
Okay. And I know it's hard to just if you can keep your voice up for me, but you said Abdul Robinson Jr. wanted you to go pick up Scotty.
Yes.
Leroy Whitaker.
Yes.
All right. Did you also get phone calls from Leroy Whitaker?
Yes, sir.
And what did he want?
Telling me where he was at to come pick him up.
Did he tell you if he was alone or did he have anybody with him?
No, he said him and Buddy was together.
So Leroy Whitaker and Dominique Barner.
Like I already said, Blue didn't only identify his son Queso for the hit, but he also implicated Scotty in helping plan the crime, and suggested they had all been involved in earlier other crimes as part of the gang war that's raged between both sides of the war. If there's one important detail that you guys need to understand is that this case is about a whole more than just a murder. It's part of a wider trend of gang violence spilling over into the music scene. In Jacksonville, rivalries between rap crews have escalated into real-life bloodshed, with ATK, a gang that Scotty and Queso are allegedly part of, at the center of it all. Let me take a second to vent to you guys about something. One thing I've learned is that music is a very powerful tool. At some point it was only an outlet for creative expression, but now it has become a platform for taunts and threats. Police now regularly use rap lyrics as evidence in court cases, arguing that these songs glorify and even admit to real crimes. In this case, the lyrics and social media posts from Queso and Scotty are being cited as evidence for premeditated murder. Scotty's story doesn't end there though. Even after everything I've already said, there's two more situations that Scotty has found himself in. Let me tell you guys about the second situation. The second incident that I personally know of is what happened in Waycross, Georgia. The Waycross, Georgia shooting involved Yungeen Ace himself and occurred on March 10, 2019, at a Hampton Inn hotel. Yungeen Ace and his group were ambushed by armed men around 3:30 a.m. after returning to the hotel. The shooters opened fire, resulting in the death of 30-year-old Jeremy Brookins, who you guys know as Rallo. Another victim, Dwayne Lamont Scott, was found with gunshot wounds in a hotel room and was rushed to the hospital. 3 suspects from Jacksonville, Mark Jefferson, Scotty, and Devontae Starks, were arrested in connection with the shooting. They were charged with multiple offenses, including possession of firearms and marijuana. Take a look at the official news report about the situation.
The bullet holes here, and right over there, the lingering reminders of this deadly shooting at this Waycross hotel. Ayanna Smith works just across the street from the Hampton Inn, the scene of Sunday's shooting. A group of men, including rapper Yungeen Ace, were near the pool when they were shot at, according to police. Jeremy Brookins killed. Waycross police arresting 3 Jacksonville men: Mark Isaac Jefferson, Leroy Gerard Whitaker, and Devontae DeMorris Starks, all facing various charges, including possession of a firearm. Smith says she's familiar with Yungeen Ace. Her teenage sons listen to him. The rapper performing Saturday night at this venue, confirmed by advertisements found on social media. No one was at the business Monday afternoon, and our attempts to contact the managers were unsuccessful. Smith says safety is a concern, but the reputation of her city is also at stake.
If you take the lyrics ATK members used in their songs into account, Queso clearly said that him and Scotty shot back at their attackers in self-defense. Take a listen to what he said.
Should've killed me in Waycross, they hopped out with them canes. Me and Scotty busting back was on the same page.
With the investigators arresting Scotty for possessing a firearm, then that should let you know that what Queso said about Scotty is definitely true. The last incident that I know of is the one involving Bibby's demise. This situation is the most well-known when it comes to the gang war in Jacksonville. Let me give you guys a small summary of what happened to him. Adrian Gaynor Jr., also known as Bibby, was tragically shot and killed on February 25, 2019, at just 16 years old in Jacksonville, Florida. His murder has been linked to ongoing gang violence in Jacksonville. The primary suspect in Gaynor's murder is Queso. Reports indicate that Queso executed Bibby at close range in the back of the head or neck while Bibby attempted to run away from the gunfire. Let me be real technical with you guys. As far as Bibby's death is concerned, Scotty hasn't been officially found as Queso's accomplice. So that means it's only Queso that got implicated for the murder. So let me just jump into what the streets have to say about what happened that day. Word on the streets is that Rallo, who I mentioned was ambushed in the Waycross, Georgia shooting, drove both Queso and Scotty to the area where Bibby was hit. The only information that's publicly known is from a witness saying that Queso had an accomplice who chased down the friend that Bibby was sitting with, but who it is hasn't been officially confirmed yet. Considering that Scotty was always around Queso at that time, a lot of people believe that he was the one who chased down Bibby's friend. Perhaps the police will also give out information about who Queso's accomplice was that day, but we'll never know until the trial starts. Queso's arrest was seen as a small step toward justice, but what happened to Bibby also highlights the ongoing issues of gang violence and its impact on young lives in Jacksonville. As it is today, both Queso and Scotty are locked up and are about to face trial. But considering the fact that it's true that Queso had Scotty as an accomplice who chased down Bibby's friend, then it's safe to say that Queso wouldn't have been able to be successful with the hit without his help. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about when it comes to Scotty. Scotty's case represents a really dark intersection of music, crime, and the online world. What started as artistic expression has escalated into violent feuds, with real lives lost and reputations shattered. As the trial approaches, the outcome remains uncertain, but one thing stands very clear to me, that the lines between rap and reality are more blurred than ever in Jacksonville. Before I end the video, there's a couple of questions I wanted you guys to answer for me in the comments section. The first question is, do you think Scotty will be found guilty? Or is this another example of music being unfairly used to keep someone in jail? Based on the evidence that the prosecutors have against Scotty, then I say they'll definitely find him guilty, especially because of Blue standing in to cooperate with the prosecutors. It's a bit tougher of a question to answer for me when it comes to music. It's true that drill music is probably one of the most violent out there, but at the end of the day anyone can just make a song and lie about a crime that they didn't commit. Maybe the main difference comes in when the raps are actually based on true and real life events. The second question is about the reason why I put together this video. Do you think Scotty is really like that? Scotty clearly has a well-known reputation behind him from both his gang members and his ops. Take a listen to what Fulio said about him before he passed away.
I swear to God, this real shit, cuz.
Watch this. This how you know. Now I'm finna expose you, Fulio. Fulio, now watch this, Fulio. Now I'm finna expose you. Fulio, I'm finna expose you.
Scotty, like niggas like Jim K, like
you just trump yourself, Fulio. You just trump.
Putting everything I said into perspective, then I can personally say he really is about that life. What do you guys think, though? Let me know in the comments section. I'll see you guys in the next video.